This is Big Blue Interactive's training camp report. I'm Mike Siegel, and this is Cy 56. And Cy, beautiful day today.
Yeah, beautiful. You said earlier, it felt like this was San Diego weather. You know, 80, sunny, no clouds, a little bit of breeze. It was perfect.
And we even got to talk to a surfer dude.
Yeah, yep.
So I know I was looking at the offensive line today, and Chad Wheeler came in and he got first team reps, and we watched OV blow right by him the first rep.
Welcome to the NFL, Chad.
Yeah, and he's freely admits it, as you will learn later today when Cy interviews him. Mm-hmm. And what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, don't want to get into the speculation at all about what's going on at left tackle. Flowers is without a doubt the starter. I think they just wanted to give him a little breather and just see what Wheeler could do against first team defenders, because to this point, Wheeler, for the most part, has been going against backup defensive ends, and you could see the gap between OV and the backup. We got to talk to Chad about what makes OV a special defensive end, and he didn't know where to start. There's just so many things. So I think McAdoo kind of wanted to catch him off guard a little bit and kind of test him, and just put some information in his head for down the road. In no way do I think this is a potential move at left tackle.
Yeah, and Coach was pretty frank about it. He said they had planned to put him in.
Yeah.
And didn't look. I mean, Flowers came right back in the next set of downs.
Yep. And there wasn't. I wouldn't call today a full out live practice. They were in shells. They didn't have pads on. They have a game in 2 nights from now, so there wasn't really too much of an evaluation possibility with the trenches today.
Mm-hmm. Although there was a lot of hand placement, that we were watching. Mm-hmm. For instance, the difference between Jaron Jones and Wheeler and Flowers is 3 different grades of player.
Yeah, you see the bottom, the middle, and potentially the upper tier there with those 3. But Jaron Jones, he's definitely, we knew his battle was going to be uphill, coming from defense to offense, coming from D tackle to offensive tackle in his rookie year. That's a lot of adjustment in a very short amount of time, and we don't want to tell him he's doing a bad job, but it's definitely been a struggle for him out there every day so far.
And talk about competition, the tight end position, man, they all look good out there today.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, it seems like they all know there's competition for a couple roster spots there, and this is what we talked about in our pre-training camp podcast with the offenses. The more competition you have on this team, it's going to make all these guys better. You're going to see the best out of all the tight ends here. I mean, even the undrafted kid from UMass, he hasn't dropped the ball yet. And his reputation coming to the Giants was blocking. And, we've talked about Matt Lacoste pretty much every day. Rhett Ellison does everything right. Evan Engram, if you want to consider him a tight end right now, is having as good a training camp as anyone could have hoped. You have Jarrell Adams, they drafted last year, who has, probably the best combination of tools on the team in terms of size, speed, strength. So I think all these guys are really making each other better.
And it's hard to believe in the fullback position on this team right now.
Yeah, if you're going to carry an extra tight end just because you have so many good ones and you want to keep one in the practice squad, you don't want to lose one to the waiver wire, the fullback is going to have a hard time making the roster. And it's hard to, what is McAdoo's plan for the fullback? Is it 5 plays a game, 10 plays a game, 15 plays a game? How good are these guys on special teams? But as of right now, if the tight end group, if you're going to keep an extra body, that probably means 1 less or no fullbacks on the team this year.
Now, there's no training camp tomorrow, and then Friday is the first scrimmage of the season.
Yeah, I mean, you always get the goosebumps on that first preseason game, even though you see the starters for maybe 2 or 3 series. It's just good to see your team on the field against another team actually going live. No coaches yelling out, hey, stay off the ground, or hey, don't take them down. These guys are going to go out there, and especially the guys on the roster bubble, it's going to be fun to see like all-out effort and to actually see what these guys can do.
And I know, we were talking to Eric about his preview, and there is an injury list, so to speak, for the team, but overall, when you look at the starters and even the backups right now, team is relatively healthy going into the scrimmage.
That's the number 1 goal of any NFL team, is be healthy coming out of preseason. And if you spend an hour watching NFL coverage from around the league, it seems like every day someone loses someone, and you're crossing your fingers, because you do need to evaluate these guys. So you need to let them go out there, and take the leash off and just let them go. But in the behind your back, you're just crossing your fingers that these guys don't get hurt. So far so good. Knock on wood.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, there's definitely a bunch of positions we're keyed on that we're going to be looking at, and but health is the main story for the first preseason game. All right, well, health is the main concern for the first preseason game, but we are looking at some roster battles here.
Yeah, I mean, these are the games that you'll watch probably 15 times, to be honest. You watch this game tape so many times because there's so many competitions within this roster, who's going to make it. But the three main ones, I think, is all just right at the point of attack. The offensive and defensive lines and the tight ends, what we just talked about. The offensive line, the starters are set for now. It's who are going to take those 3 or 4 backup spots. I think there's 5 or 6 guys that have a legit shot at taking it. So we'll see there. The D line, especially at D end right now, we're not really sure. Are they going to carry 4? They're going to carry 5. But no matter the case, a couple of good players are going to get cut. Is it Devin Taylor? Is it Kerry Wynn? Is it Aquara? Those guys are going to have to really impress in the preseason games, in addition to what we see out here to make the roster. And
you got to think that Tomlinson's going to get a bunch of reps.
Yep.
And Coach said that Webb is going to get a bunch of reps.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah. Coach did say Webb's going to get on the field Friday night, so that'll be fun to watch. And yeah, I would think Harrison is going to get very limited action, if anything. He's the most important player on this defense, as we talked about, and I don't think he's going to need a lot of game experience during the preseason to get him ready. And so I think because Tomlinson also plays that D tackle spot, I think we're going to see a lot of him Friday night.
All right. Well, coming up, we have an interview with Cy and Chad Wheeler, and we hope you enjoy it.
Again. All right, what's up, guys? I'm with Chad Wheeler, left tackle, New York Giants. Chad, what's going on, man?
Good.
So, you're about 10 days into your first training camp, NFL training camp. How do these practices, these sessions, compare to what you had going on at USC?
The sessions, it's really professional. Everything's really high-paced, and they just throw you in there immediately and expect you to perform full speed, like anywhere, like professionally.
Yeah. So, like the speed, the strength, the playbook, physically and mentally, you're being very challenged right now. Can you expand on just like the differences between college football and the athletes you're facing here?
Oh, the athletes?
Yeah.
Oh, everybody on that field is good.
Yeah.
That's the starting point.
Yeah.
College, you'll have like a couple guys that walk-ons, obviously, but they're great players as well, but they're not as athletically gifted as like all those dudes out there. So
yeah. I mean, Chad just walked over here and said, "Man, Ovi's fast."
Yeah.
Glad he's on your team, right?
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, that's how you get better. You get to practice against the best day in, day out like that, and that's how you get your game to the next level. Speaking of your game, I watched you a lot last year at USC.
Thank you.
And one thing you do really well is that you maintain like your balance, your body position after you engage a defender. Is that something that and I'll see other tackles that really struggle with that. Is that something that you've worked on over the years, or is it kind of like a naturally acquired trait there?
Sort of both. I guess growing up I was like surfing a lot, so that requires a lot of balance.
Okay.
And I do a lot of yoga.
Okay.
So yeah, doing those things, like working on my balance and stuff, a lot of core strength, like you need that obviously. So yeah, that has helped like propelled my technique.
And now that you're done with college life, you're done with the classes, and now this is an actual career here, how much of your training is put towards away from the field, like your nutrition, your weight training, and do you think that can help you get to the next level?
Of course, yeah. You take advice from the vets, the veterans and stuff. You have to take everything you put in your body is accounted for.
Yep.
So this is like a professional job. You have to gain an edge. Anything you could do, from nutrition to training to sleep, hydration. The coach and assistants harp on all those things.
24/7.
Oh yeah.
So speaking of those veterans, you have some very accomplished guys that have gone through what you've gone through recently. Eric Flowers, Bobby Hart, DJ Fluker, all relatively new to the league. What are some of the things that they're trying to help you out with?
Just building my confidence. These guys on this level are just different. So you have to bring your A game every snap.
Okay.
So you can't be complacent with your wins, and you can't get down on yourself with your losses. So you have to just live in the moment. Coach McAdoo harps on that a lot. Just living in the present and yeah, giving 100% every play. Yeah.
Awesome, cool, I love that. So tomorrow, Friday night, you know, first live game action right here at MetLife against the Steelers, known for, you know, very physical brand of football. So I'm sure you're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
How much, you know, without, you know, giving us too much on this, how much are you guys prepping with actual scouting reports on players or game plans, or is it more just, hey, let's go out there, get our feet wet, bang some heads, and see what we can do?
We're prepping, we're viewing the team.
So viewing some tape, okay.
Yeah, obviously you can't really get tape on the rookies,
right,
the new guys, because they're coming into the league.
Right.
But that's like our job is to like understand what they're doing. But schematically as a defense,
right,
they're not gonna like completely change.
Right.
So we're reviewing preseason film, and film from last year, to understand what they're gonna do.
Cool. All right, guys. Chad Wheeler, we're gonna see him Friday night. Can't wait to watch him in action. Thanks for your time, bud. Good luck to you, man.
Thank you.
All right.
Hey guys, coming up we have a few selected clips of practice from today. All right, this is Mike Siegel on behalf of Big Blue Interactive and Sci 56 and Eric Kennedy saying we'll see you on Sunday at the next training camp.